Alright, sige. Hello, Dar. Kumusta?
Hello,
How are
Jason.
you?
Okay naman.
Kumusta ang Kumbaga, I know you're part of a leadership organization called EO, tama ba? Leap?
Leap,
Leap.
leap, innovate. Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little about that? Kumbaga.
With Leap, I just finished a life coaching program wherein we are the coaches. So, you know, Johan, diba? Si Johan sumali siya as one of the students. So, essentially, it's a transformation program, coaching transformation program, performance-based. So, it starts off with what are your belief systems, ano yung beliefs mo sa life, ano yung mga nangyari when you're a child, actually, limiting beliefs that affect you until today. And then how does it affect your performance, whether it's in business, in life, in your career. So a lot of people like go through it. Like I think it's there for 20 years already. So I underwent the program 2022 and I got invited to coach as early as 2023 with one of our friends, si Ali.
Ayan, okay. Interesting na parang at least we're also trying to get towards at least the understanding the whys of people through this podcast and looking at their life experience. I guess one of the first things I'd ask siguro is uh, what's what are some things about you and your life that would probably better help would make more people better understand who you are. Parang it could be about your upbringing, about kumbaga your professional anything that comes to mind. Parang pag alam ko to, naintindihan ko si Dar.
So I think one of my beliefs talaga is I really want to live life to the fullest. Parang I believe each of us, like we were sent here to in the world to make the world a better place. I know it sounds so cheesy, but sobra ako siyang paniniwala. So as I don't also know how long my life is. So each day, kahit yung ibang tao nasistress sa life ko, it's really that na parang I want to maximize as much as I can in terms of experiences, in terms of opportunity, in terms of interactions. So,
And I'm curious naman, on a day-to-day thing, like I know you're part of a lot of organizations. The first one is Leap, diba? Like what
Yes.
else fills your time?
organizations or or trabaho.
And I mean,
Or-
any. Kumbaga kasi if you're living life to the fullest, what does a full life
For me,
Dar look like now,
Okay.
diba?
So my life right now looks like I have a balanced life with my family. So I have 2 kids. I'm married. My kids are 6 and 8 years old. So medyo bata pa. So I enjoy spending time with them early in the morning, like just before before they go to school. And at nighttime, parang yung bedtime, we have a routine. Tapos, my husband and I, so we work together. So it's having the conversations with him on a day-to-day basis. So that's very important to me, na no matter how busy things get, gusto ko pa rin nag-uusap pa rin kami. So yun. Tapos, the other parts that fill up my day, of course, there's a big chunk goes to my work with Viviamo. So that's still my parang main priority. And my extracurricular
Could you tell us a little bit more naman about Viviamo? Parang
Viviamo.
what is,
Muna. Viviamo, we're celebrating 20 years this 2025.
Okay, so
So
it
I've been
takes a while, diba?
Yeah. I've been doing it I was surprised. I didn't think it would last this long. We started with the Belle Jour Power Planner. So we created the planner for women. And then suddenly, parang because of the partnerships we have with different clients, they asked us to make different kinds of merchandise. So we started making planners for different clients. Then it evolved to different kinds of items. And syempre, we know what happened during the pandemic. A lot of companies like had to pivot and do so many tumbling. So, ganun din nangyari sa amin. So, during the pandemic, pre-pandemic, we had a lot of events. Pandemic, we did online events for a while, but after a while, that's where Leap came in. I felt there was a bit of parang natamaan din ako ng mental health because of all the stress of trying to survive a business during the pandemic. So that's why I went to Leap. And during this time, I also recognized like a lot of things that I could have changed in terms of running the business. I learned it from our organization together, BNI. And I applied lessons that I've learned from another organization, which was EOA Accelerator Program. So again, all of these things I feel like are part of who I am right now because they've helped me in terms of growth professionally and personally. So Viviamo now, we're focusing in a lot of corporate merchandise, strategic corporate merchandise. So we help brands figure out what is the right merchandise for them. So it's still something that we're pushing and we're excited about all of these things for 2025.
Sige. Mukhang you have a lot on your plate in general. At least nililista ko lang. Kung ako palang pagod na ako dito, di ba? So I'm curious, kunwari, I guess, how do you manage all of that? Na parang, these are, yun nga, living life to the fullest. I think ako, kumbaga, it also goes with that na konti lang tulog mo siguro or konti lang pahinga. I don't know. Parang at
Hindi
least
naman. But kasi I also believe in sleep. Sleep is one of the things that is underestimated as a important health factor. Like with my kids, I'm one of the few parents in the Philippines who've trained their kids in sleep training. So I did it when they were 3 or 4 months old. Because when a baby is less than 1 year old, sleep is more important than food.
Okay.
So yung nangyayari. So because of that belief,
Okay,
ako
sige.
din, important sa akin na nakakatulog ako. But granted, hindi man ako nakaka 8 hours of sleep, but my target is roughly 6 to 7. But I do hope that this 2025, I'll still reach it 8 hours of sleep. But important quality of sleep,
Okay.
not just the quantity.
So I guess that's, if you're trying to live life to the fullest, one thing to take away from that would be to rest to the fullest.
Yes, you also have to rest to the fullest, correct.
Could you give like really quick tips on how
To
I know
rest.
you di ba? Kasi kunwari ako, the conventional wisdom, at least the minimum I've researched about it is keep a constant temperature, keep constant light, di ba?
Okay.
And then try to sleep at the constant time so that your
Yes.
body gets into a rhythm. I think
Correct.
that's the basic bare minimum I know.
Correct. Yung pinaka-important is relatively, this is also hard for me, to go to sleep at a consistent time. I think that's very hard. So, kung let's say, if you want to target every 12 midnight ka natutulog, as much as possible, you go follow the 12 midnight ka natutulog. So, your body, as you said, gets into a rhythm. If it's 10 o'clock, then it's 10 o'clock. If it's 1 o'clock, then it's 1 o'clock. But it's just important to put your body in a rhythm. In terms of temperature, mas mabilis makatulog talaga pag mas malamig. That's how our body is generally wired. But depends sa tao I feel. Darkness will get you better sleep.
So,
Darkness.
Ay-
So
ay-
not even counting light.
as in
Darkness.
So, kumbaga, ano yung mga blackout blinds
Blackout
talaga? Ganun.
blackout blinds. But a lot of people, I mean, sa akin kasi, medyo blessed ako in terms of sleep. There's a lot of people who have like, ano ngayon, yung hindi makatulog.
Insomnia.
Insomnia. So me, generally, I have, madali sa akin makatulog. So I don't know if dahil pagod lang ako or something, but mabilis sa akin makatulog. One hack I would share is that before I go to sleep, I consciously tell my mind, I want to sleep a certain number of hours. I want to wake up by this time, and I want to have good quality sleep. The best quality sleep at this for a 6 hours or 7 hour time frame. I feel that helps me because subconsciously I'm planting that mental instruction na matulog ka ng solid for the next 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Kasi, alam mo pagkagising mo, ang dami mong gagawin.
go na, correct.
Okay. That
So,
makes sense.
Parang
At least
I
you're-
feel, kailangan natin sometimes, I think we forget to instruct our body in terms of what do we really want from it. So, that's my tip for the sleeping.
Yeah, very, at least makes sense, di ba? Parang, okay. Parang yung iba, di ba, work hard, party hard. So, sa'yo, it's more of sleep hard.
Sleep hard. Kailangan
Work hard.
Sleep hard, work hard. Work hard, sleep hard.
Okay, that's interesting. Sige. I'm also curious, I'm like, in terms of your background naman, like, what got you to where you are? Like, if you could talk to probably, what was your childhood like? What was your, like, college life like? That led, or there are some core experiences there
Nangyari.
that actually shape who you are and what you do today.
As a child, I really loved learning. So, parang I'm one of those weird kids who loved school. So, gets?
Parang obvious naman.
Pero hindi ako honor student.
Okay,
Pero
interesting.
I love school. Na I remember when I was in grade 2. So grade 2, di ba, mga age yun ng anak ko, na makulit ka, ganyan. And I was just trying to trick people by memorizing riddles or mga bugtong. Kasi wala lang, feeling ko smart siya. So, ano ako sa teachers ko. Pero, I mean, parang I guess I've always wanted to learn to maximize all of these things. But what was consistent with me from high school to college was that I was part of a lot of organizations, which kind of reflects my life also right now.
Okay.
So, I think when I was in high school, as in, ang dami ko. Like, mahaba yung yearbook, extracurricular activities. I really loved extracurricular activities.
Why do you think that is? That seems to be a common theme in your life.
It's a common theme in my life. I'm the type of person, or I feel like I'm the type of person that I get energy from one project over the other. So if it's like one thing, like what happened to me like right after college, that I had to focus on my MNC, multinational job, and then with something else, yung dalawang thing na yun, parang, I don't know, parang nasakal ako. Na parang it was just too little. So I feel like I'm the type of person that needs multiple multiple things. And I know this does not work with a lot of people.
Of course.
I'm just saying I guess what's weird about me is that I do enjoy the multitasking. I don't recommend it. But there's an energy that I personally get from different things, and I like connecting the dots from what I get from this organization, that organization, and then my life. And I guess that's also my definition of a full life. Like, I'm part of a church organization. I still have a prayer group right now. I do have a sport. Like, right last year, what I tried was open water swimming, and I enjoyed it. The year before, I tried Spartan. So parang I realized that it's all different aspects of me that I want to feed kahit papaano. So maybe I won't feed it like 100% of the time for the full year. Like the last time I did an open water swim was the competition in Camiguin.
Okay.
Camsur. Sorry,
Camsur.
Camsur. Yung next pala na gusto ko punahan is Camiguin. Camsur. So sa Camsur was in October. So I haven't swam since October.
But how, like, what scale of, like, is that a kilometer swim?
2 kilometer swim.
2 kilometer open water.
Open water.
Parang, okay.
Kaya
Sige.
siya.
Sige. Next time, nakasakay lang ako sa barko. Ikaw na, sasabayan ka lang namin. Okay, sige. Mukhang it's really going back to yung living life to the fullest. I wanna touch on something that you mentioned. Parang, you actually seem like, if most people would have met you, they would seem like na parang, this person mas bagay sa corporate. And I think you used to have a corporate job, tama ba?
Yes, I do have a corporate job. I feel like I need a balance of structure and creativity.
So tama ba, you came, where did you go to college? And like
I graduated from UP Diliman. My course was business ad and accountancy.
so tama nga, papunta nga talaga doon. So parang yun yung mga pumupuntang PNG type na mga
yes.
ano.
So I did 2 internships with PNG. I did sales and market research.
And then after, like, I'm guessing even in college, like, you'd have 4 or 5 orgs, tama ba, na active ka?
Yes, I was the EIC of the college publication.
Okay.
So Gilder and a lot of, I mean, I wasn't the leader in the other organization, but I was part of the other organizations.
And that, I guess, those internships, yun nga, the natural path, at least looking at that, would have been a corporate job
Corporate
somewhere.
job. So I did start with a corporate job.
Okay, so tell us more about.
So my path was like, I did internships, and then I said, I didn't want to pursue accountancy. Kahit accountancy yung
So
course
it would have
ko.
been business ad.
Yeah, on business ad marketing, because I felt like my calling was in marketing. So, and I did some internship with P&G, and then after college, I got offers into different groups, and I ended up working with J&J. I joined the management trainee program, and
How was that?
the decision during that time that I made that, I did a management trainee program and study for the boards. So,
Boards ng accountancy. Okay.
Hindi yun normal.
Kasi mukhang given that, patay yung schedule mo. Wala ka
Patay
talagang tulog.
Wala talaga akong tulog. Patay yung schedule ko. And my other batchmates in UP did not work just to be able to review. I did a full-time, heavy job. So
working for J&J is...
Yes. So I do like 14-hour work days. 12 to 14-hour work days. Tapos I travel back home. You know the location. It's at least 2 hours. That's Mondays to Fridays, weekends. Because hindi ako nag-aaral during the week, kailangan ko mag-aaral ng weekend. So my classes at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So the typical schedule, when you're doing a review, you're studying in the morning and the afternoon, na formal classes, and the review classes. In the afternoon, you study on your own. So sa akin, I was studying Saturday, Sunday, na full day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that was my life for the first 6 months after college. So It was crazy. It didn't work out. I didn't get regularized. I was conditional passing in the board exam. And syempre malaking tama yun sa akin in terms of ego. And yung sa syempre nakakahiya yun sa UP. Kasi 100% passing kami sa UP in general. So I'm one of the 3 people who did not pass during that time. So medyo pasaway kasi sinasabihan naman ako ng review center na, wag ka muna mag-test ngayon kasi...
Hindi ka pa handa.
Oo. Kasi pag next year ka mag-test, I'm sure magpe-place ka. And yun nga, considering the preparation I did, kaya ako conditional passing is pasado ako overall. But there was one subject that I had below 65.
Okay lang. I'm also, at least in my boards rin, when I took the ECE board exam, ganun rin. Conditional passer rin ako.
But I could have made that like pasado, but I really decided, it made me, look at my life choices.
Okay. And what did you find na parang...
Kasi parang na-realize ko, when I took on the job, did I really want this job? And I realized, no. I just took this job because sayang. Ang ganda kasi ng opportunity. There's only 3 of us who were offered that year, this position.
So I guess the opportunity was more valuable. It seemed more valuable than your personal choice.
Than my personal choice, yes, exactly. And with the board exam, ganun din sinasabi, ilan lang kayo nag-graduate sa UP na BAA, na Diliman.
Ilan lang ba kayo?
72, less than yung mga ganyan. So, mag-boards. And hindi naman lahat nag-boards, Pero ine-encourage talaga na mag-boards ka kasi parang ganun, all of these things. So, but during that time, I was already declaring it to my batchmates, to my friends, to my barkada, to anyone who would listen, na even if someone would pay me 1 million pesos a month, and this more than 20 years ago, to do accounting for them, I won't take it. Yeah, so meaning, alam na alam ko hindi ako magpa-practice. Alam na alam ko, get. So, all of these choices, and you know me, I'm very strong-willed. I'm clear, gusto ko, ayoko, ganyan. And yet, at that point in my life, I still chose something because it was a big shiny object at that time, which was that opportunity, and then this opportunity, and that's for me cost one of my biggest lessons in life. Kaya ako nag-fail.
Okay, but I guess then what happened after that? So you didn't pass the boards, and then kumbaga, I guess you were so you're kumbaga, parang in limbo ka ba?
In limbo.
With J&J, parang ganun.
Yeah, definitely in limbo. If you think about it, parang there was a lot of shame, right? Parang you feel like a failure, and you are a failure at that point in time, in a way.
In terms of normally, like, does everyone also pass from the management trainee into a regular, or is it also like just a percentage of those?
Hindi siya 100%. Pero hindi. Siguro the expectation from me is really to pass.
Okay, so...
but for me, I believe it wasn't the right fit talaga.
Okay.
So, nothing to do with the company. Both of us, we weren't the right fit for each other. And, it's really my choice. During that time, it wasn't the right choice because I wanted to do something different.
Okay, so what then... So, you were in limbo with J&J, you were a conditional passer. What did you do starting then?
The day after, one of my belief system is I don't believe in bad days.
Okay.
So meaning, no matter how bad things get, and things can get bad. So my day after is, wala akong trabaho, tapos conditional, tapos wala rin ako. And ayoko na mag-boards ulit. Nagets mo? So, hindi pa ako pumasa ng boards. And then, parang you have a lot of relatives and people saying, ha, impossible, baka nagkamali sila.
Ganun kalaki yung expectations.
Sa akin. And ganun din kataas yung tingin nila sa akin. Gets? And then, I just have to smile and say, I'm sorry, hindi talaga. Gets? And the day after, I still woke up at 6 a.m.
Parang hindi. I would give myself a break at the very least. Grabe. Okay. Sige,
Okay, so woke up at the next day at 6 a.m. I said to myself, I didn't want this to be the end of... Parang hindi ito yung end of my story. And parang, I don't want to be a has-been, if you're familiar with the term, diba, na parang, dati successful ka, dati magaling ka, tapos ngayon wala na. So ayoko maging ganun. So sabi ko, ano yung kailangan kong gawin to turn my life around at that point? And I guess what started was I just wrote down what are my goals, what do I want. Bumalik ako, ano ba talaga gusto ko sa buhay? Ano ba gusto kong gawin? And I guess that made me reflect on how I made decisions before. Na I made a decision to join the company because ang ganda ng opportunity, but not because I really wanted it. I took the boards because sayang, konti lang kayong pumasa. Nag-graduate, diba? Kasi it's a, I mean, a lot of people fail the program.
Yeah.
So, parang sa akin, yun. And made me realize na I need to focus on what do I really want, what kind of life do I want to live. So, yun yung start.
And then, so you started writing about it, I'm guessing in a journal. And I'm guessing
Both
that led...
journal and an Excel sheet because I also made some sort of Gantt chart. So kaya kasi ko, hindi ako sobrang paper lang. It's always digital and paper.
Okay. And then, I'm guessing, did that somehow lead you to starting the Belle Jour Power Planner?
Yes, definitely. Because like one of the things that I realized, I even read books after I did the goal setting. Kasi like, yung time na yun, iniisip ko, yung problema ko sa life was time management. But if you notice, as I've shared, it wasn't really time management.
It was more picking opportunities that were right for you.
Exactly. So the time management, but I read time management books. So during that time, medyo mas simplistic. So sabi ko, I need to have a planner to help me plan ano yung priorities ko.
Okay.
And remind me, ano yung priorities ko? Kasi mukhang nadadala ako sa mga next shiny object. So, sabi ko, kailangan ko ito para clear siya sa akin. So, that's why I made a planner for myself. So, that was the start of the BDJ planner. And then, syempre, when you're proud of something you've made. Like, I printed it black and white sa bahay. Like, jet printer, hindi ako natulog kasi yung papasok mo, tapos babaliktad mo, tapos yung ganon. Tapos, pumunta ako sa UP, pinabind ko siya, hardbound. Tapos yun yung ginamit ko. Ano ba yun?
Do you still have that journal?
Yes, I still have that journal.
I'd love to see that sometime kung pwede. I just to see the original power planner. Diba?
So yun. Tapos, so I wrote down my plans for that following year. And I think that was 2006. So I made the journal in 2005 for 2006. Kasi nag-crash and fail ako 2005. So 2006, ginawa ko na siya. Shinare ko siya sa friends ko. Tapos sabi ng friends ko, why don't you mass-produce it? Oo. And during that time, limbo pa din. I wasn't sure anong gagawin ko. Kahit gumawa ako ng goals, I was applying to different jobs. But I wasn't still getting what I really, really wanted. And what I wanted was to work in Singapore. Okay. Like, kasi I felt like I had the credentials to be able to work in Singapore. And I had enough savings from my job to be able to go to Singapore during that time and try and do whatever applications. I stayed with my cousin, so I had some relatives there. So parang tipid-tipid mode talaga siya. Kaso lang, around May of 2006, I was called back in because my grandma was parang terminally ill na. Okay. So, kaso lang, pagbalik ko, parang ayaw na ako pa labasin ng parents ko. So, I had a friend who was working in Summit Media. And sabi, Dar, work ka na dito. Sobrang saya dito. Like, super creative. And I also felt that the past year depleted me of a lot of creative energy. So, I decided, sige, I'll go. I'll join. And I had different options I was offered, considering Cosmopolitan, my even Smart Parenting, but I'm not a parent, and then Entrepreneur Magazine. I went with Entrepreneur Magazine because it was still aligned business, parang even corporate, parang I felt it was related. So I became the associate publisher for Entrepreneur Magazine for that year. I held on to that job while I was doing the BDJ
Power.
business, yes.
Okay.
And it was fully disclosed with all my bosses. Like, my bosses knew I had the business. My parents didn't know I had the business. Yeah, so parang ganun siya. But I realized during that time, the energy I got from Summit helped my energy in business. The business helped the energy that I gave Summit.
Okay.
So that's why
So I think
it helped.
Yeah, it really just goes back to na parang the energy you probably get from Leap feeds into your family,
Yes.
feeds into Viviamo,
Correct.
into BNI, and into EOA.
Lahat,
Tama, diba? Parang
yes.
ganun. Okay.
Correct. Kaya, ang intricate niya minsan na parang, pag kinakausap ko yung mga tao, paano mo naayos buhay mo? Medyo madami akong ginawa. Gusto mo makakita. So parang, ayun.
Okay lang. So at least that's very... And then what would you say you learned about that whole experience and still are doing with the BDJ planner? Parang... Kasi I want to say, for a while, parang it was, all the girls talaga, at least I would see in
Yes,
college, parang it was ubiquitous as the planner.
Correct. Well, I had learned a lot of things, and I have also had a lot of mistakes. But overall, the good things that I've learned from that experience of that is you have to constantly check in with yourself. What do you want? Because sometimes what we want also changes. Just the same as nagbabago yung environment, like, diba, yung pandemic changed a lot. But at the same time, tayo din as human beings, when we interact with certain people, we do get affected. Our ideas, concepts, all of these things change. So I think it's always important to get back within yourself and check in, is this still what I want? Kasi baka minsan, yung tinatrabaho mo, pinaghihirapan mo, hindi mo na pala gusto. Gusto mo dati, but hindi mo na gusto ngayon.
Okay, sige. With that in mind, like with all the things you do, I think you seem to do a lot of coaching and a lot of coaching. You have the BDJ planner, you have Viviamo, BNI, EOE. What is the essence of DAR in terms of helping other people? What do you think the core value, or how do you help people essentially?
So, the funny word for it is I push people.
Okay. Sige. How do you push people?
Consistent siya, high school and college. Meaning, in a way, nakaka-trigger ako ng mga tao. And we both know that.
Okay.
Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's unintentional. But I guess before, when I was like a bit more unconscious about it, the reason I do that is because parang sometimes I see people in a higher version than themselves, or I see the potential. So I want to push them. But what I've also realized along the way, even if they have this higher potential, if they don't want to go there, that's their choice and that's their journey. So doon nakatulong sa akin yung Leap. Kasi before, mas pushy ako. Meaning, if I feel or I think this is parang, ito sobrang ganda ng opportunity para sa'yo, mapupush talaga kita. But the thing is, yun nga, kung ayaw mo naman, hindi yun yung point, which is part of my lesson. So it just ties in together. But it's a bit more that. So I want to encourage as many people how, as you said, like parang how do I help people? I talk to them about their opportunities. But I don't want to be attached to it. Meaning kung ayaw mo, hindi ayaw.
Okay.
That's your life, right?
Okay. So I guess if I need a little push and I know it's something I want to do, I go to DAR.
Pwede.
Tama ba?
Yes.
Okay. With that in mind naman, let's do the reverse. How do you think other people can help you in what you do?
In what I do, I've always appreciated honesty. Kasi parang I'm one of the people, I'm not the typical sensitive Filipino. And aminin na natin yun, na minsan balat sibuyas.
Okay.
Diba? So I'm not like that. Kasi parang I feel that's one of the best gift, yung feedback. Tapos, I appreciate until now, like friendships na Alam mo yung diretso. Diretso. So, for me, that's the best way a person can help me. Just telling me straight up what's the problem, what's a concern, or kung may nakikita sila na pwede kong ayusin, baguhin. And I feel it provides like the highest, parang it's people seeing you in your highest self. Meaning they're giving you an opportunity to listen and adjust if you want to. Again, choice mo pa rin yun, di ba?
It's funny you say that because what keeps coming back to me when you said that was there was a short interview, like a clip of Tom Holland, who parang he says na parang, if you have a problem with me, text me. If you don't have my number, we're not close enough that you can have a problem with me. So I think,
Yeah.
so if you have Dar's number and you have a problem with her, text her.
Message me.
I guess ganun.
Tama naman.
I think ganun lang kasimple, di ba? Parang that, I think we all need people who are, I guess, not necessarily brutally, but constructively honest with
Constructive.
us.
And yeah. And then sinasabi nila sa'yo yung feedback, not because they want to put you down,
But they
but
want to
they see the best in you.
in the same way that you push people because you're not seeing them as they are now.
Yes.
But you're seeing them as what they could be.
Yes, correct.
All right. Sige. Really quickly, what's, I guess, one piece of advice that's specific to your industry that you would think everyone would be, that would benefit everyone?
The podcast that I've been being interviewed with the past few weeks and even the latter part of December is really about how do you make time.
Okay. So how do you
Time-related sa
make
journals, diba? And time management, planners. For me, it's always about, number one is clarity. You know what you want to do. Whether it's for the day, for the week, for the month, you should be clear about what you want to do. If you're not clear with what you want to do, hindi mo mamamanage yung time.
Okay.
So, kung clear ka, mamamanage mo yung time.
Sige.
Then number two is you really need to create like some sort of support system. Kasi, well, or maybe it's applicable in my case, diba? You need to be able to help others help you. Because I think a lot of times, parang sinasabi natin, mag-isa ako, na ako lang pwedeng gumawa nito, ako lang ganito. Hindi natin consider na madaming ibang gustong tumulong sa atin. Or yung ibang tao nagsasabi na, nag-ask naman ako ng help, hindi mo ako tinulungan. Diba? May mga ganong lines. But the truth of the matter is, tinuruan mo ba sila kung paano ka tulungan?
Yeah.
So, yun yung sa akin. Kaya that's what I mean by creating a support system. Number three is because of the clarity and you have the support system, you arrange your time in time blocks. Throughout the week, you have this acceptance of some things will fall into the cracks. Wala namang perfect. And just because I don't have a perfect time schedule and so on. But because of the time blocks and you look at your time in a finite way, the important things na nagagawa mo. So meaning, ngayon, naka-time block tayo that we're gonna do this. And I'm here until this time, diba? Then I have another time block and then another time block and so on. So it's time blocking. I feel that it's one of the best time management tips.
Sorry. Something to add to that lang. I remember there's a clip about, I think it's Simon Sinek. So he says, with regards to at least a support system, he says, do you have 8 minutes? I don't know if you're familiar with this.
No,
the whole concept is, parang, let's say you have, you're going through a tough time and then, the way he reaches out, and he's told his friends beforehand is, do you have 8 minutes?
May code word siya.
Parang
Code
ganun.
phrase.
Because they say just 8 minutes, a good conversation with a friend can just change your whole day na agad. So if you're, just look it up, Simon
Yes.
Sinek, 8 minutes, that's something like that. And I guess one thing I'd also like to, I guess your support system is also integrated into these organizations.
Yes, correct.
Diba?
It's integrated, correct. So, it's not easy to create the life. I'm not yet in the dream life that I want, but I'm very grateful for the life I have right now. Kasi I can see how one aspect contribute to another. And it's not easy to design it this way.
Sige.
So, medyo intentional siya for each person.
Okay.
So, how would you design on a long-term basis your life to the kind of life that you want to live?
I want to ask though, as a person who's been parang tempted by the shiny new thing, how do you get down to clarity? I'm guessing one of the ways is journaling, right?
Journaling, talking to people. So, journaling is when you talk to yourself.
Okay, so
So, you need to talk to yourself.
hindi ka naman baliw.
Hindi ka naman baliw.
Baliw ka pag kausap mo sarili mo, pero pag sinusulat mo, it's journaling.
Oo, pero hindi ka rin value pag nire-record mo yung sarili mo, na
Okay.
kinakausap mo yung sarili mo.
Okay.
Because that's
Sige.
video journaling.
Okay.
And I would also recommend that. Hindi ko pa siya nagagawa, but I have like friends who does that, and it's
Okay. So,
iba yung
kumbaga,
insights na lumalabas sa video journaling. You can do audio journaling. You can do writing journaling. So,
So-
sa akin, yung pinaka-experience ko is the writing.
so I guess nga, so aside from journaling, what are tips you
Talk to yourself, talk to friends, or talk to a coach. So I've always believed that when you talk to friends, this is a bit biased because your friends would always have this vision or idea of you. 'Di ba? May projection yan. And mahirap alisin yun.
Okay.
And that's also okay. Hindi mo ibig sabihin bad friends. It's just that, yun yung relationship nyo eh. So tanggapin mo, part of acceptance. And you'd get unique feedback from that. The third, the talking to mentors or coaches. So mentors are different. Mentors is seeking advice. Coaches is asking you the question so that you'll be able to figure out the answer.
Okay.
Okay? So when you talk
kumbaga,
to mentors or
journaling,
coaches,
friends
other
and
people,
coaches.
Yeah. The coaches, why is it important? Because they show you parang they hold a mirror, parang boya bunda.
Okay.
So you see yourself in the mirror. Kasi 'di ba, parang without a mirror, you don't see your nose. So a coach will tell you, this is what's in front of you. This is your nose.
All right.
And sometimes will help you realize and hopefully make you move forward.
All right, sige. As a tradition on the podcast, we normally have the previous guest leave a question for the next guest without
Okay.
knowing who it is.
Okay.
So this question comes actually from Josh Villena of Autotelic and Tota. His question is, sumasayaw ka ba sa harap ng mirror mag-isa?
Sa mirror mag-isa, hindi. Pero
Okay. Pero I know you
sumasayaw
dance.
ako. Sumasayaw ako, but I'm like an awful dancer. I have 2 left feet. I dance salsa with my husband. That's how we met. So, kasi 'di ba, parang if you know my persona, medyo
Oo nga, parang
controlling.
salsa dancing is something I would
Very
parang,
feminine, 'di ba?
Tell me about, diba? I'm sure people would love to know. Talaga?
No, because it was also part of my parang self-discovery, because you can't be a good leader if you don't know how to follow.
Okay.
In partner dancing, as a woman, you are the follow. Hindi kayong lead. So you need to learn how to follow. So I've always felt that I need some physical, and then, 'di ba, I have physical activities. And part of the mindset, or baka belief din to, you don't really learn anything 100% until your body learns it.
Okay.
So I needed my body to learn how to follow.
Kumbaga, it's a holistic kind of approach.
It's a holistic kind
na
of
parang,
approach.
you know it mentally, but your body has to know it
Yeah,
too.
your body needs to know it. So a lot of the workshops, lessons that we've had, we attend even in whatever programs we do, it's always mostly mental. But if your body doesn't know it, 30 days, it's gone.
Okay. Very interesting. Sige.
That's based on stats. That's not from
Okay,
me.
sige. So siguro, if I could ask you, just write a question for the next guest without knowing who it is. If you were asking anybody, a good question to ask anybody. You don't have to say it out loud. Kahit
Okay.
isulat mo lang dito. And then just write your name. And then I guess, while you're thinking about that, the last tradition we do on the podcast is Minsan Studio nga is obviously very involved in music, and we want to create a playlist with songs that are defined by our guests. So, what's one song that you really like or you think more people should be listening to, and why?
Yung sa Greatest Showman, yung
Okay.
the first one, yung Dream,
Dream, okay.
the
sige.
first one.
Why?
I think that was like, parang, we like to sing it. Me, syempre, hindi ko siya it's at the tip of my tongue right now. I was trying to, kasi it's about imagining your dream life
Okay.
and bringing it to reality. And then involving people that you love. Kasi it's a duet Tapos di ba sinama yung kids. Later on, yung kids kumanta din with them. So parang, I don't know, because I have a family. So parang, it's also involving the people you love in that dream. So it can't be just, kung dream ka lang for yourself, parang
Boring.
boring. Or parang hindi siya meaningful. Or at least that's for me. But
Okay.
yun.
Sige.
So yun.
Alright. So, sige. That would be very interesting. Sige.
Ayan.
Alright. Alright. Sige. That's... Okay. I think the next guest would be... Thank you very much, Dar, for your time. I hope you had fun.
Yes.
At least, yun nga, we... Parang, mas naintindihan na kita. And I'm sure a lot of people would also learn a lot from what you've told us today. Thank you, Dar.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. See? Ganun lang.
Okay.